Hello and welcome to the third installment of a Q&A session with the Bath & Body Works manager. I believe that this is going to be the final installment, at least for now, but either way, it is the third one. If you haven't seen the other two, I will definitely link them up above in the card section. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Melissa and I was a part-time manager at a Bath & Body Works for about 6 years, and now I run a YouTube channel all about Bath & Body Works, of course. So if you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to my channel down below so that you don't miss any of my future videos. So I'm actually the Melissa from the future. I'm going to turn it over to the Melissa from the past, and she's going to be the one that answers all of the questions that you had about Bath & Body Works that you wanted to know from a Bath & Body Works manager. Just as a quick little disclaimer, I am currently not working for Bath & Body Works, so I do have the freedom and liberty to speak my mind and say what I want. Also, I do not speak for the company, and I'm just speaking from personal testimony of my own experience working at Bath & Body Works. All right, let's jump right in. Have you ever had to deal with theft? Yes, I have a couple of customers. I have seen them shoplift and they have done it frequently. I have also had a couple of people who I've never seen before do it and had some really weird situations. Yes, we do have like some reports we fill out and stuff, but yeah, it does happen, unfortunately. And thankfully I'm in a small town, so it doesn't happen so often where I'm at. I'm sure it happens in bigger ones a lot too. What are your all-time favorite scents? I kind of answered some of this from the previous video, but some of my top favorites are Waikiki Beach Coconut, Marshmallow Pumpkin Latte, Santa's Blueberry Shortbread, Strawberry Soda. I like pretty much everything. There's not very many fragrances I don't enjoy, but those are just some of my top favorites. So good. Do you miss anything about working there? The two things I miss the most is just the store itself, because like I mentioned before, it was my store. I shopped there as a little kid, grew up shopping there, and then to work there for so long, I really felt like it was like my home away from home. So I do miss like the building and the store itself and being in it. I was so comfortable there. And then I also miss being in the know. Like, since I run a YouTube channel about Bath & Body Works, information about Bath & Body Works is very important, and I want to know all of the scents. I want to know all of the test runs. I want to know everything about everything that there is to know. Having to be like the second, third, or fourth person to know is kind of frustrating. Although in the recent years, I had actually gone back to Bath & Body Works to work floor sets and stuff like that over the holiday season. My store was having an issue with not having supply to keep up with the new floor sets. So I would see pictures of other people's stores getting the new products in and new fragrances and stuff like that. And it would be like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks until we finally get the new stuff. And it was like, it's not new anymore. And I would be so annoyed that here I was, an employee, not even being able to experience the new stuff before all the customers of the other stores. That was kind of annoying for me, but I mean, it wasn't anybody's fault. It was just kind of a weird thing that we were a little bit behind. But more or less, that's something I miss, is kind of like being in the know all the time. Do you have any tips or ideas as to what products end up going for semi-annual sale? Once you've been with the company long enough, you start to really pick up on the trends. You start to understand durations of a fragrance's life. You start to understand how the company thinks in terms of what fragrances are replaceable versus which ones aren't. And there's not really any way that I feel like I can sit down in front of a camera and explain this. Oftentimes they will do single launch releases. So right now the most recent one was Butterfly, Pure Wonder, Fairy Tale, Dahlia, Sunshine Mimosa. Those single launch fragrances, after a couple of years, sometimes as short as 1 year, but after a couple of years, eventually they usually get discontinued. Some that kind of surprised me that stuck around is In the Stars, Into the Night, and Thousand Wishes. Those ones, I think they did so well in sales, and maybe they won like in that Allure magazine thing. They might have won a contest in the fragrance department, and so they get to stick around. If it's seasonal, expect it to get discontinued. If it's a single launch fragrance that has anything to do with seasonality, it will probably get discontinued. If it's not, Warm Vanilla Sugar, Beautiful Day, Moonlight Path, Thousand Wishes, Into the Night, Into the Stars. Come on, give me another. Japanese Cherry Blossom, Rose maybe, I don't know. If it's not like one of those ones, it probably will get discontinued at some point. And oftentimes when something gets discontinued, it's not forever. Either it will go into the retired fragrance category and it will come back for like semi-annual sale, or on the online tab, they have their own retired fragrance area, or it will get repackaged in some shiny new bottle and then you get to buy it again. The main way to know if a scent is being retired is if it goes clearance at semi-annual sale. The moment it hits those red bins, it's done.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
My tips for semi-annual sale, this almost needs its own video. Go at the very beginning, first day, be the first one in the store, like wait at the door, be one of those weird people that camps out a few minutes before the gate opens, and then go at the very end, because not like the very, very end, but like before your new coupons start that aren't for semi-annual sale. If you go kind of like in the middle towards the end at semi-annual sale, what will happen is it's our kind of way to clean out the back room. And so usually what you see when you first come into the semi-annual sale is all of the stuff that the company has sent, kind of the themed items, the most recent items, things that were already on the sales floor that have just been marked as clearance. But then what starts to happen is when those things start to sell down is we start to pull from the back room. And sometimes that can be like old collections from seasons past, like, you know, if it's the Christmas semi-annual sale. Once those Christmas things start to sell down, we'll go into our deep dark depths of the back room and bring out all the marshmallow pumpkin latte, all the fall stuff. We'll just kind of like start cleaning stuff up. And so those things are often clearance too. So that's kind of my tip, is go at the very beginning, but also mark a time towards the end, the middle or the end, when you can go look at some of those other things, because they're always changing what's on the sales floor just because it sells so fast and we got to keep it full. One thing that really annoys me is my local store gets products about a week after the store that's further away from me. Yeah, this is annoying to me too. My local store will say that set doesn't come out for another week, but the other store has it out. So two things could be happening. One, it could be not their fault and they're just not getting the shipment right, because we don't have control in the store what products come to us or when they come. Unfortunately, I have a store that's like 45 minutes away from me, and then there's ours that's in my town, and that store would always get the products before we would. Once again, we don't get to choose who gets what and when, and they will prioritize sending products to stores that they think will sell it better. So if the other store that's further away is bigger than the store that's closer to you, it might be that they're selling more, and so they just prioritize that store. Then the other thing that could be happening is if your closer store is saying, oh, this set doesn't come out for another week, but you're seeing it in that other store, what could be happening is your other store might be doing a naughty and putting out products that they're not supposed to yet. Either they're putting out things before they're supposed to in that other store, or B, the closer store is having shipment problems. Have you built a friendship with any longtime customers at your store? Yes, I have a number of customers that I would view as like my regulars, and we would always have fun. Sometimes they'd come in and pretend to be like bad customers, and we would just like joke around and stuff. We would have a couple of customers that we would end up getting to know really well. You would know exactly what fragrances they like and what they have and what they don't have. And so what would happen is during Christmas time, their husbands or boyfriends would come in and be like, help me out, I need help knowing what so-and-so wants for Christmas. And I'd be like, I got you, and I'll just like totally shop for them, knowing what they already like and what they already have. And then the husband would be like, phew. So yeah, we did have a couple of customers that were like that. Tips and tricks for SAS sales and any sales. I kind of already told you my tips on semi-annual sales. Go right as they open and then go kind of like halfway through, because oftentimes they'll be cleaning out the back room and new products will come out, or like old products will come out. So if you're looking for like fall or like a previous season or something like that, you might find it more like in the middle of the sale, like after it's already been going for a week or two. Also, markdowns will happen at semi-annual sales. So if you see something that is 50% off, but your store also has a table for 75% off, don't buy the 50% off. You should wait. Unless if it's a fragrance you know you have to have and you see that there's not a whole lot left, then do it. But like if you see there's a full table of like the thing that you're looking at and it's on the 50% off, just wait like a couple days and see if it ends up moving to the 75% off, because oftentimes at the end of the night we will get those visual updates in the email and they'll be like, oh, markdowns, this whole collection is actually now 75% off and we have to move it to the other table. The cheapest prices is when they do the try it to believe it sales, which run usually from November to Christmas time. It's essentially kind of like the company's way to prepare you for Christmas, and they'll put one type of product on sale at a time. So they'll like have hand soap day where hand soaps will be like $3 a piece or $2.95 or something like that. It's nice because then you can also use your coupons on top of those sales too. So things like candle day, hand soap day, I think they have single wick day like sometimes twice. But yeah, if you really really are looking for your bargain and you can wait, either wait for semi-annual sale or those try it to believe it days. How much gratis do you get per year? It's kind of, I don't really remember how much I got necessarily. Pretty much what would happen is at the beginning of every main floor set category, they would give you gratis. The first gratis you get when you're first employed is they should give you a hand sanitizer and like a little holder, like a simple holder that you put on your apron about once a month, or at least every time there's a new floor set. So maybe it's like a month and a half or so. When they release the new products, usually when we're doing the floor set, that's when they'll divvy out the gratises. And sometimes they'll be big ones. Like I remember one time they had us get like 8 different products. It was like a new formula of hand soap. They wanted us to try a signature collection fragrance, even though they were all the ones that had already been out all the time, like Thousand Wishes and Warm Vanilla Sugar and stuff. They wanted us to get like a lotion of that. They had reformulated the body creams to hyaluronic acid ones, and so they wanted us to pick out one of those. They also wanted us to pick out like a wallflower. I mean, it was like one of everything, and it was like right at the end of semi-annual sale January and the start of the new kind of like, this is our fresh start. During fall, they usually give us a full-size 3-wick candle for our gratis for the first fall floor set. So it just kind of varies. During Christmas time, they give us a lot less gratis because they have a lot of seasonal employees and employees that are kind of like coming and going that aren't necessarily permanent. They kind of make up for it because they do often do like little Christmas giveaway things where they'll send us a box of goodies or something like socks and mugs that are branded. That's how I got this mug actually, is they'll have like little Bath and Body Works branded items, and if you do something good and your manager notices, they might like reward you with a little present or something. So there's also that too. This is an interesting question. What can you tell us about the fictional founder Kate? I can tell you that Kate's dead. So pretty much L Brands, or the company that owns Bath and Body Works, created a story that was believable that they could kind of use to market their brand Bath and Body Works, if that makes sense. So before Bath and Body Works was blue and white, it used to be more similar to the Body Shop, and they actually had to rebrand because of the similarities were just too striking, I suppose. And so we call that era the Heartland era. And that is when they used to have like the green logo sunburst. They used to kind of have like that funny bubble 90s text. They had the awnings, they had the wood, they had the apple baskets, they had little green wagons. Checkered red gingham was kind of like their thing. Everything was just kind of like homespun and like country chic kind of vibes. And then they rebranded. Blue was like their new color, and like they turned into more like a clean cut white store. Obviously you can tell which one I prefer. I definitely prefer the Heartland era, which actually my store locally, the one that I worked in and grew up shopping in, never was rebranded. So I still have like the original style 1990s Bath and Body Works as my store, which I love, and I hope that they don't change it. Their actual founding story is less than charming because it's just like a bunch of white men who made this company of scented lotion, so that's not very fun. So what they did is they created this character named Kate. This fictional founder Kate was kind of used as a model to help employees withhold kind of this standard of our branding and image that we wanted to portray. And you can tell that some of that Kate stuff kind of transferred over, in the sense that Bath and Body Works really does pride themselves in the way they market things and the way that they really do customer service. They really do customer service unlike no other store. So here's this little blurb. I had read this quite a long time ago and just found it so I could read it to you because I couldn't word it any better than this can. But Kate grew up on a farm in the Midwest and loved to make her own beauty products using the natural ingredients she found around the farm. She went to college and majored in biology so she could learn more about the beneficial properties of these natural ingredients, and when she graduated, she decided to open up her own handmade store of natural beauty products, and the rest of Bath and Body Works is history. That is not how it actually happened, but that's kind of like the vibe they wanted for the Bath and Body Works store. They wanted it to be like cozy, homespun, kind of farm country vibes. They wanted employees to think like, what would Kate do in this situation? And so anytime a customer would come in, they would want to like welcome them in as if it were like their home and like just be very personable. They no longer harp on the Kate thing. I think they realized that that was kind of like cliche and corny. And in training videos, they don't use that or anything like that anymore. They're just kind of more normal about it. But I was actually curious. The last time I was working at Bath and Body Works, I was actually asking some of my coworkers, hey, do you know anything about the Bath and Body Works mascot Kate? Kate, and they're like, I've never heard of that. That's definitely not a thing anymore, but it's definitely a cool little bit of history I read on there too. It's like Kate is like an urban legend now, so that's kind of funny. Besides the fact that we do like the customer service and still personal one-on-one feeling that Kate would have with a guest in her home. Other than that, the only evidence that Kate has ever existed in Bath & Body Works was they're always naming collections, and when there's new collections that come out, they have to name them something so that they can label the boxes, and it helps with organization and stuff. And last Christmas, I had noticed they were using Kate's name in a lot of the collection names, like they were saying like Kate's Cozy Christmas or like Christmas at Kate's and stuff like that. And so it goes to show like whoever was naming them did remember Kate. But that's a great question. Thanks for asking that. When they switch out last season's scents with the new seasons, what happens to the products? Do they go back to some storage or are they donated? When it's the end of a floor set, let's pretend it's fall and we're getting ready to put out the new Christmas scents. Oftentimes we'll kind of have like a transitional period where there are some tables that kind of go push back to the store that still have some of the fall stuff, but they'll have like the Christmas stuff up front. But usually what will happen is we'll do box ups. So we'll just build up a bunch of boxes again. We'll box them back up, label it, tape it, and it'll either go to offsite or the back room, depending on your location. If it's big enough back room, it'll go to the back room. So pretty much it gets stored, and then once it's semi-annual sale, so the 2 semi-annual sales are January and June. Whenever the closest semi-annual sale comes back, we will bring out those products, and they will usually be on some type of clearance, either 50% off, 75% off, or if it's like a body care item, it might be like $5. If it's a hand soap, it might be $3. It will be some type of discounted situation. Sometimes also you can see these products come back during the Try It to Believe It days between November and Christmas. They'll feature the one product, like they'll have, oh, it's body lotion day, and what will happen is we'll find all of the body lotions in the back, even if they're from different seasons, and we'll push them out and you'll find them like on little pedestals and stuff like that. So that's where they go. They don't get donated. They just get put away and then brought back for later use. And then the last question I had a lot of was crazy customer stories. I did tell you about the weird hand soap lady that filled up her bottle with dial soap. I told you about the motorcycle dude that took me by surprise. And I told you about the lady, I don't even know what to call that, the hand lady. I have a story that isn't a customer, but a situation that has happened to me while working at Bath & Body Works. I have spent the night at Bath & Body Works for 3 different nights. Like spent the whole night there. Sleepover party is what I always say, and whenever I say that, my coworkers will be like, no. So what happened is we had an electric gate. Mind you, my store was built in 1997. It has not received very many updates, if any at all. My store's old, it's broken, like many parts of it are broken. So we have this electric gate, right? So when it's time to close, we're supposed to close the gate, count the money, do our closing procedures, whatever. Then we open up the gate just enough for us to kind of like duck and like crawl out kind of, and then we close it back up, lock it from the outside, leave for the night. I was usually one of the ones that was closing when I was one of the managers, and so this happened like 3 different times, and I'm jumbling them all together because they were, like I said, they were all-nighters that I spent at the store. The one that I remember the most, so the gate broke while it was in the open position. Okay, so we can't leave because the store's just like wide open. And we're like, oh. At this point, it was maybe like 9:30 or 10 p.m. It was winter, I believe, because I don't think it was warm outside or anything. I think it was it might have been like late winter, like early spring, I don't know. So the store was open late already because customers like to do that during the Christmas season. They think that we're open all day, all night, even though we're not. I had done my closing procedures and it was probably about 10 o'clock at this point. We were just about ready to leave. So I opened the gate. It's like, and it just stops. It opened, but enough for like people to come in and out, but not all the way that we couldn't like force it closed. They also had this dumb rule that you can't fix anything on your own. You have to get an approved company to come and fix the stuff for you. So I call and I say, hey, my gate's broken, what do I do? And they're like, okay, well, we'll send someone out for you. And this is like with emergency hotline or whatever. We'll send someone out to come fix your gate. And be like, great. So what do I do in the meantime? They're like, just wait there and like guard the door or like whatever, stay on the line with me and we'll go through all sorts of forms and I'll ask you a bajillion questions and all this stuff. So I had already worked. It was a Sunday, so I opened and I closed and now I get to stay there all night. And of course, nobody could come, like none of the other managers, I don't know why, could come I had one that lived like out of town and she was not very helpful. I don't know where the other managers were. I guess they had to work the following morning, so they're like, I'm not doing it. I was like, So pretty much me and an associate had a sleepover party inside the store, waiting for this guy to come from a town that was like 4 hours away, like to come fix our gate. So we spent the night there. It sounds like it would have been fun because we could have like watched movies and eaten food or whatever. No, it was not fun because I had to be on the emergency hotline phone number. Like they called like every 10 minutes to check on us. And they also had like cameras to like watch us to make sure that we were safe and like to make sure, I guess, we weren't stealing or something. I don't know. Either way. But I was pretty much in communication with someone on the emergency hotlines or like at a corporate level all night, like every 5-minute, 10-minute check, like phone call. And if they didn't call me like every 10 minutes, I was calling them every 10 minutes, be like, where's the guy? Where's the guy? Is he there yet? And they were like, no, he's not there yet. And for a while, they couldn't even find anybody. So like half the night was spent trying to find someone. And then the other half of the night was waiting for that someone to finally get there. So they fixed the gate the first time. At least they thought they did. Like a month later, guess what happens when Melissa's closing again? It breaks again. So I think I did this a total of 3 times until finally I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I am not spending the night. Some questions that I feel like people will answer is, did I get paid? Yeah, I got paid for it. It was nice because one of the times it broke, it was when we were selling face masks, and I had actually made a purchase before close that day of face masks. And so me and the associate that stayed with me, we did face masks together, and we were just like sitting there in the dark with our face masks in this empty store like, Now it's like an inside joke between me and my old coworkers. Like this last time that I was working there, every time we'd close and the gate would like make a weird sound, I'd be like, oh, sleepover party, and they're like, no. So yeah, that's kind of my weirdest story. Is I've spent the night at Bath & Body Works overnight like 3 times. Anyways, I hope that some of those stories gave you a good laugh. If you have a question you would like answered related to Bath & Body Works in any kind of way, definitely let me know down in the comments below. I enjoy answering them for you. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye. I was having this thing where we would have floor sets. What happened? Come here. Come here. What you just heard was this guy bringing me a toy mouse. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you for the mouse. Thank you for the mouse. Okay, anyways. What was I talking about?